Hi, everybody. Ayesha Motivates. Thank you for checking in. Today, I'm sharing some information with you that I've shared at Try Paper Play. And the reason why I am doing this is because when you find something that is important or interesting, that is good, you want to share it. And so I'm coming today to share with you Ryan Hamer. Who's Ryan Hamer? Ryan Hamer is an amazing gentleman who is so full of information that is very, very useful in today's time. Why am I saying this and something so mysterious? Well, it is not so much mysterious, but it's very timely. Now, on my other channel, I shared from the perspective of a craft facilitator because that is my world outside of my 9 to 5, where I'm able to facilitate craft programs and provide on Etsy my journals that I have for sale and such. But here on this channel, where I motivate you, I wanted to bring this information because it is not just for someone who is seeking to put aside some small extra, monies for um, another business or to fulfill your craft endeavors and such, but rather this is an opportunity wherein if you're a single mom, a single dad, perhaps you're just someone with a low income. And we all know everything is going up in price, but for the most part, the pay stays the same or is not moving you up fast enough to accommodate the new prices. We need to find solutions. And that is where this gentleman comes in, Ryan Hamer. And his company and his YouTube is entitled iFixCredit. How apropos, iFixCredit. Now, not me. I am seeking help myself so that I can level up and not have that be a concern for me. But this gentleman's YouTube and his business is entitled iFixCredit. That's the name of his business. And you can find him using the at iFixCredit. So at iFixCredit, that is his YouTube channel. You just put that little apple looking asterisk. I could never remember what you call that, but at iFixCredit, that's where you can find Ryan Hamer. Now, when this gentleman breaks things down, number one, he's coming from a place where he's not just sitting down, lofty, just, having a good old time, just pontificating about fixing credits. This is someone who's been there in the trenches and has been able to lift himself. And as he learned, he thought, you know what? I've got something to share. And so he started doing this some years back. And listen, if you don't have an opportunity and the right environment to bring your work forward, sometimes that's a little bit tricky. And so yes, he is sharing and getting information out to people, but I'm here particularly why, because we need to support him on his YouTube channel. He needs more people connecting with his YouTube channel so that they can basically get the help that they need. Many years ago, I came across, and I was in high school. I do remember some things that's so important, and I love that. Many of us, we've experienced things as we were growing up, and we've never forgotten it. And this is one that I remembered, and I'm so grateful for this gentleman. Wherever he lived, I'm not cognizant of that. I don't know if he mentioned it. But basically, what he said was, at some point in his life, he was making low, moderate income, but yet he was making an effort to make a difference with it and helping organizations and people in need. And as he progressed and made more money, he still maintained a certain lifestyle wherein he wasn't reaching to get more for himself, but rather was now in a position to give more. And this is the quote that he used that I've always remembered and shared. And that is, he said, I'm determined and I've made it a point to live simple. Here's the punchline: so that others might simply live. I've determined to live simple so that others can simply live. How beautiful. And how right. You know, for many of us, unfortunately, we can say, you know, I need myself. I don't have enough to give. But what if we were to have our lives be simplified as much as possible so that we can have just a little bit more to give somebody? Now, of course, in the news, we see, the basketball players and the actors and actresses and all of these high named individuals doing wonderful things such as Oprah, opening schools and all these things. Um, Ti, the rapper, he recently opened up 135, I think, or something, somewhere in the 30s, maybe it's 130, but apartment units to assist homeless people and runaway children so that they can be housed. Will Smith's son opened a restaurant wherein he said, I've got all of these millions of dollars sitting in the bank. I might as well use it. And so he opened a restaurant where he feeds individuals for breakfast, lunch, and supper. Now, Mother Teresa spoke to something to this where she said, we all don't have to move to Calcutta to make a difference in our lives. We can help in right where we are. And we know that we can make a difference with simply what's in our hands. And I don't mean like right now, but I mean, what do you have just a little bit more of that could be a blessing to somebody? I don't say this to um, brag or to prove a point, but I am blessed with craft supplies, and or rather to impress. Les Brown loves saying this. Um, I'm a student of Les Brown. He says, I don't say this to impress you, but to impress upon you that we all have something to share. And for me, it's craft supplies and the importance of finding an art form that we can sink our teeth into and just, be able to get the benefits from it. And so I do that with grade fours and fives, where I share with them the importance of crafting and primarily paper crafting. Try paper play. I'm inviting people to try paper play. Check out my website, my Etsy, right? You can contact me at trypaperplay@gmail.com. Just try paper play. So with my work, I've been able to connect with grade fours and fives, and I've got 154 students with whom I've been able to provide supplies to and presentations to. And the new year is coming, new school year in September, where I'll have another set of students, and I'm so excited. But we all have something to share, to give. We all can make a difference. You have a purpose on this earth. Everyone's got something to share, to give, even if it's advice. And so here I am. Now, you all, again, I cannot stress enough. We all have something that we can share, that we can make a difference with, to someone in someone else's lives. And so, after having said all of that, this is exactly what Ryan Hamer is seeking to do. And so we need to get more people aware of this gentleman's work. There's so many I champion single parents because I'm a single mom and I've been one all of my daughter's life. But there are many single folks out there, many students, who can have their credits, just to be educated on credits and the importance of knowing your numbers, and knowing how to speak to creditors and all of these things. um, this gentleman knows, and he makes it so simple that you will be able to understand, and he's patient. So I just came to share something good, because when you find something, I remember reading about the Samaritan woman in the scriptures, where Jesus made a trip purposely just to connect with her. And this was a woman who we later came to find out, had many husbands. And Bible times, and even today, when it is known that the way in which the Bible speaks of it is that every time you sleep with a person, you marry them. It doesn't have to be paper, they become your husband. And so apparently this woman had 5 husbands, and whoever else, who knows. And so God, Jesus, God in the form of Jesus, made a special appointment. And that's what he would do with all of us, to come meet this woman at the well, and spoke love and truth to her. That when she was finished, she wasn't having her back up against the wall, feeling like, oh, who's this man and who are you, and how dare you tell me, that I have so many husbands and whatnot. But rather, when she was finished, do you know what she did? I'll tell you. She ran back to where she was living, to her village, because you had to walk a distance to get to the well. And she went back, ran back to her village, and started telling anyone and everyone that she could see that, come and see a man who told me all these things about me. And when someone speaks to us in love, it's no longer a rebuke. We have to share our love to people when we want to lift them up out of their murky situations. And I just had to tell you about this gentleman, because his information will help you. If it takes a while for everything to mesh and gel, don't you worry. It does with me, but the thing is, he answers your questions, right? So please connect with Ryan Hamer. You could find him at iFixCredit. At iFixCredit. This is the YouTube channel that you want to subscribe to and you want to share. This is Ayesha Motivates. I cannot thank you enough for listening, but guess what? Now you need to share, right? You need to share this information, and when you are subscribing to his channel, you might just want to also do the bell, right? So that every time he uploads a new video, you will get it. Ayesha Motivates. By the way, check out Try Paper Play, the other channel. Subscribe, like, and share. And I want to thank you for your time. This is Ayesha Motivates. Always here to help you. Take care. Bye-bye.